Hey, it's your boy Trebles Garcia. And as you know, all our episodes are unedited and unfiltered. However, for this episode with this guest and this topic, the hosting platform decided to act up and it gave us a minor disruption on the mic. Nevertheless, we still decided to drop the episode with the genuine sound for genuine listeners like you. So please go ahead and enjoy and don't mind the minor lag.
If you believe in God, the Bible also states that he's going to allow you to do free will. He's going to give you the influence, and if you decide to take it or not, that's your free will.
But that's when
so
it
if you
separates.
decide to
That's
live
when
in a
it
dark
separates.
path.
So that's when free will and divine power separate. They can't have the same thing because they contradict each other. Free will is you choosing your own plan on what you want to do, not acknowledge.
Oh, you cut out your mic. You would hold that thought and connect your mic. Hold that thought and connect your fucking mic. Come back, Tank. Like Titanic. Like Titanic. Come back. Jack, come back.
Ride slow. We're getting going. Two different poles, yeah. The night is slow. We're riding low. We're getting going. Two different poles, yeah. I'm paranoid. Bitch, I'm paranoid.
Testicles, 1, 2. Testicles.
Yes, we back. What's Gucci, my boy?
Welcome to Paranoid Radio Podcast. This is your boy, Trebles Garcia, and joining me the 1s and 2s is the best co-host on the motherfucking planet, Big Tank. Salute, my boy.
Salute. Back at it like crack addicts. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great, dog. How are you?
Good. No complaints.
We have a couple complaints, but we always work through our complaints because that's what relationships are about.
Yeah, greedy motherfuckers.
Sometimes. But the point is, thank you so much for tuning back in, guys. This is Paranoid Radio Podcast. You already know what's up. I am Trebles Garcia, and Big Tank is the best co-host on the motherfucking planet. And this is the best show with the best content for the best fucking listeners. And we're not going to keep anything holding you back. Big Tank, I want you to plug in the randomizing machine, and let's put this shit on the road.
Let's do it. Let's fucking do
eating. Good morning, by the way. Good morning, eating breakfast and shit.
I am. I had to eat a little.
That's right. Right.
Let's do it. Let's fucking plug in the randomizing machine and let's get this shit going. So, without further ado.
There we listen to that baby purr.
So, who is it, Trebs? Who is it?
Oh, for real. We got Autumn on Instagram, AUTUMN on Instagram. She is an amazing fucking person that a recent follower. She's a recent follower, a recent listener, and a recent supporter also because she's sharing our shit on Instagram.
Shit, salute.
Yeah, salute to her. Salute to your health and to your family. Thank you so much for being a listener. As well as thank you to everybody that's listening around the world. You know, we pick one random ass listener every week to make it a listener of the week. We send them a massive shout out on the episode and also on Instagram. So if you are trying to be on and you want to share your thoughts, you want to put in your fucking 2 cents, or you have a story you want to share with us, hit us up and we'll make you part of the crew. You get me? Post show.
That's right. Yeah. Well, you be one of us.
For real. Now, Big Tank, I want to give you the spotlight, dog. I want you to bring in the best segment in the fucking planet. What is happening?
Yes. You get no deal. This is what is happening. And I'm going to give you 2 stories. Normally it's 2 stories. Today's just going to be 1. And I want your 2 cents. I'm going to give you my input. Let me know what your input is. I'm going to go
damn. For it to go 2 to 1, that means this is really important.
Okay. So, we all know it's becoming more of a fact that Trump has basically lost a debate even after all the crying.
Whoa. Mm-hmm.
And there are rumors and speculations around the White House. Sources saying that Trump is losing it.
Mm-hmm.
Can there be an outfall to this that could affect us for 2021? What do you think?
Crazy shit. it's gonna go into a deep conversation with this guy because this guy is gonna have all the House vote on him, which means each person in the House counts for one vote per state. That means 50 votes. 50 votes. It could be 25-25. It could be 30-29. What is it? No, not 30-29. What is it? Fucking 30-20.
35-15.
Yeah, 30-20 or 35-15, etc., etc. There's a lot of speculation that even that could be bought out because they're in the House already, and the majority are all Democrats. But if for any reason the Democrats also vote for Trump, that means something fishy went on. I'm not going against Trump. I just know for a fact that this is a fucking theater, and we have to let it roll out and see what happens.
Without a doubt. I mean, honestly, I expected him to lose. Well, no, actually, I said he was gonna win.
Yeah, you did.
But with everything that's happening right now, after my predictions, of the whole everything that went on, Trump this, Trump that, Biden won. Mm-hmm. He did win. I think he needs to stop being a big baby about it. Real talk.
I think so.
I think just as well as he's good at talking shit, I think just like that, I think he needs to take it. He needs to take that out, keep it going. I think he lost already. All the recounts have been accounted for.
And he's wasting money on the recounts, by the way.
Yeah,
he's buying out the recounts.
Most of them already in. And it's
he's paying
pretty
for
much
them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the state that he pay for, he's paying them out of his pocket.
So go figure.
Go figure.
Whatever you think it's happening. And I know this doesn't pertain to the whole world, but it pertains to our part. That's why we're bringing it in.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, in a way, it does. The leader of the free world. I'm not saying the U.S. is the center of anything, but if it affects the U.S., eventually it's going to ripple down to the other countries, and
yes,
it will affect the way that you live around the world. So, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it does. It all. We're all connected somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Economically mostly, and then military.
Without a fucking doubt. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys are thinking. If you guys are feeling this, if you guys are not, if you guys could really just care less about Trump, and you guys want me to go back to go find some weird mysteries I found on the old interweb, let me know.
Yeah, buddy. For real, let them know at paranoidradio.com or paranoidradio@gmail.com. Hit us up.
Instagram.
On Instagram too.
You guys have access to both of our Instagrams. The main Instagram for Paranoid Radio, and DM us right there. Slide in the DMs.
Slide in the DMs. No cap.
Now
we have thank you so much for being in that story, Big Tank. You're the best. You already know.
Salute. Thank you.
For sure. Now, everybody, I want you to stay tuned because today we have a pre-recorded show with one of the most amazing guests we've had on the show. This fucking episode, it's gonna blow your fucking mind. This is a Christmas special episode, and that's all I'm gonna tell you right now because the rest is coming up. I really hope you guys enjoy the content. Big Tank, let them know.
Just to let you guys know, when we say pre-recorded, the only reason some of these are being pre-recorded is because our guests have valuable time. We have valuable time. We can't always expect for them to hear everything until they get brought in. Sometimes we ramble on. Sometimes it can be short, whatever it is. And that is why we schedule them ahead, so you guys don't have to wait like they wait.
However, you're still getting the raw content. I don't edit anything. All the bad words are there. All the fucking, all the explicit shit's there. And this show, you know what I just noticed? We started off a trend. Unedited shows.
Yep.
This is a trend everywhere. Tinfoil Hat's doing it. THC is doing it. Zero's doing it. A lot of other, what's it called?
Podcasting. A
lot of podcasters are doing that non-edited. It's a fucking trend. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not going to take credit for it. But I am the self-proclaimed unedited freestyle kings of fucking podcasts. That's it. I said
Most def. So stay tuned. Let us know what you guys think, and we'll catch you guys at then.
For sure. Enjoy, guys. Yo. So we have an amazing fucking episode today because today we have another Paranoid Radio fucking royalty. He's been here with us in season 1. He has brought us very amazing topics. He also introduced us to Diana Didinko, and he is the main host of the Enlighten Me Radio podcast, one of our biggest supporters and collaborators. Please give a warm welcome to Spirit Love Guru.
Yeah,
what's
welcome,
up,
boy.
man?
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, thank you for coming back on the show, dog. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
well, it has. How long has it been?
Fuck, since season one.
However long season 1 was.
Fuck, for real, my boy, for real, dude. Well, dude, today we're gonna be bringing you in. I'm gonna jump right into the deep end of the pool. We're gonna be talking about a special Christmas edition type of topic. We're gonna be talking about shrooms and Santa Claus in a way.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, before I get into it, I just want to put a little disclaimer that I'm not here to spread any misinformation, nor do I mean to offend people's religion, because religion is a very sensitive topic for some people. I'm kind of looking because sometimes reality is not what it seems all the time, and you have to peel the layers to get to the truth sometimes. And my perspective on mainstream holidays is like we take things at surface value without questioning them, right? Like we take Christmas without questioning the origin and the meaning behind the holiday. And in my perspective, actually don't really like Christmas that much because there's a lot of pressure to buy something. You feel me? Like on Black Friday, it's Black Friday is all about like, I'm gonna buy some extra shit that I don't really need. I'm gonna fight you over it so we can see who gets it first. You get me?
So what are you really giving thanks for? You're eating something real quick. Sometimes you don't even spend time with your family. You go overnight to wait for a fucking doors opens for Best Buy, and what are you giving thanks for? Are you giving thanks for the low prices because you're fighting somebody else?
My perspective is you don't need to wait for Christmas to be a nice person. You get me? Like there's a lot of times there's this fake niceness on the holidays where I'm gonna be a nice guy, but the next day I'm back to being the asshole that I originally am. You get me? Like that should not be an excuse to give. You should give and celebrate with kind of not rely on Christmas in a way, or like people go to church just like once or twice a year for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, but you shouldn't have to wait one or two times a whole year just so you could celebrate the holiday. But that's just my perspective. I'm just here to talk shit. And
what if it's a minimum requirement? What if it's a minimum requirement?
According to who? To the doctrine you're following?
To whatever it is. Whatever you guys want to believe in. What if it's like the minimum requirement? Obviously, each religion has its own holidays that go along with it. What if it's like a minimum requirement?
I know some people that are Jews, and I'm address that question. They're Jew. They live in Canada. I spent a lot of time with them, and I'm not gonna disclose their names, but they're amazing people. Okay. But they go hard in the paint when it comes to their fucking holidays, dog. And I'm talking about Jewish people they go hard in the fucking paint celebrating their holidays. They don't go to church just for minimum requirements. They have a maximum requirement on every attendance. So it's like even their holidays, like they get off like by law, they're off every Monday at work. Like it's fucking insane how deep they go. Like I'm not saying there's Jews out there that don't follow the requirements, but I mean, either the Bible even says it, dog. The Christian Bible says it. God said, either you're in or you're out, but you're never in the fucking middle. So when you say minimum requirement, it's like you live in the middle life. Like
you have one foot in the pond, kind of dipping your toes in the water and
then the other one in hell, kind of, if it makes any sense.
Okay.
You get me? Anyway, but still, today we're going to be talking about Christianity, Christianity, Christmas, and a very special detail on it. And just before you jump into it, dog, I want to make sure people hashtag look it up, hashtag look it up, this fucking little thing I'm going to drop right here. And this is for our next episode that we're going to be dropping. Before it was called Christmas, it was called Saturnalia. And it was a Roman holiday. And they would worship Saturn. Hashtag look it up if you don't believe me. And then the Roman Catholic Church came in and changed it into Christmas, which is the
Romans always have to step in like that, man. Can be.
We live in a Gregorian calendar, bro. We are in the Roman Empire type of mentality still to this day. So, but we're not going to go into that conspiracy. Let's open up the conversation. Big Tank, please help me out. We're going to be talking about mushrooms and how mushrooms connect with Santa Claus and Christmas today. Please open up, dude. What are stone
okay,
apes?
So this is a theory on stone ape theory. So there's a brilliant thinker named Terence McKenna. he theory where it's called the Stone Ape theory, where back in the day, like when we were all chimps or apes, we would experiment with different kinds of foods at some point, and somewhere down the timeline, we as apes came across mushrooms, and then once we started consuming the mushrooms, we started developing a language, and it gave us the visual acuity to become better hunters. So like we were kind of meant to kind of go on like 4 legs, but when we ate the mushroom, it allows us to kind of stand up straight and look like beyond what we're kind of seeing, so we can see further out in the distance. And also that the mushrooms, it's actually it makes you more horny, so it makes sense why monkeys could have a lot of sex and increase the breeding. And with the Stone Ape theory, you have to think of how at one point that the apes started using cooking with fire, because cooking is a technology that humans had to develop at some point, right? And it's just like it's also they have
of course.
His brother Dennis McKenna kind of has a little bit more science backing it, but he kind of goes into the human brain actually doubled from the apes, and he believed that it was through mushrooms kind of influence that.
So I do believe that apes probably met they met fucking mushrooms in their house or in their hunting, and they saw that shit and they ate it, and then once they ate it, they started to like it, and then once they started to like it, they started practicing it every single day, to the point where it becomes part of their organic system. And once they fuck, they have all these other baby apes, and all these baby apes already have that in their body. So they already have like that natural ability, kind of like when you're on meth and you have a kid and your daughter or your child comes out hyperactive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of what you were using, that's genetic already. So then that genetically modified kid starts eating the mushroom, and slowly, eventually, every offspring
I don't know
comes out a little
if
bit more
you
evolved.
could pass your intelligence through the biological genetics, though. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's not impossible, because
I think
how would you explain, for example, you grow, what's it called when you're used to something? You grow complacent. Yeah, you become immune to it. For example, this goes exactly.
You can pass that, like herd immunity. You pass that around with people.
When we used to smoke weed, I don't do it no more. Haven't done it in a while. But when we used to smoke weed, you start building a tolerance to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so once you start building a tolerance, you need more and more and more. So I think it's definitely possible for the next, if I would have kept on smoking or whatever it is, or whatever drug I was using, and I became immune to it, or whatever it could have been, pass it on where they become immune to it and they need a certain dosage, or they need to look for something bigger. And
yeah,
I think
you know
there
what?
could be like a junkie
I think
effect.
so too. You could design your own kid. You could go over there and fucking go to like a one of those designkid.com websites, and then you could get a kid to be green-eyed, a certain height. You could look for a specific characteristics you want on your child, and then create it, and then have a surrogate mother to have poop the baby out for you. Literally, you could design your own shit. So I'm saying, you're telling me that you could not pass.
What I'm thinking now is like I know someone who his mom was tripping out on San Pedro cactus ceremonies, and she did it so much times that he came out and he's like spiritual as fuck, and he's only like 16, 17. So I'm trying to think of like when an ape is pregnant and he consumes the mushroom, when that fungal intelligence, does that pass through genetically to the child?
Oh yeah,
I think there's a way where
it has to be, dog.
I'm not saying that it could always happen, but I definitely think there's a way that it can happen.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is the same thing. Stoned apes is the same thing.
That's the general gist, but I just wanted to kind of throw that there, kind of look at things from just from another angle. But we have this thing called mycophobia, and mycophobia is basically we fear what we don't understand, right? And when you look at religion, it's like, if you're not following the path here, then you're the devil. You are against me, So.
Oh yeah, I had that discussion with my last night. Again,
so mycophobia is
exactly.
We fear the mushrooms because we don't fully understand it, and we don't understand the importance of fungi. And you look at soil; 30% of soil is fungal mass, 30% of it, and that there are more 10 times more mushrooms than there are with plants. And for every
shit.
tree branch that we have, there's 2,000 feet of mycelium. So mycelium is the network is a fungal intelligence network. And we think that intelligence is something to do with the brain, but nature in a way has its own intelligence. And this mycelium,
right.
they communicate
You're
with each
fucking
other.
right.
Like when we see two trees, we're like, oh yeah, there's two trees. But if you look beneath the underground world of mycelium, you're seeing that the trees are communicating with each other. They are passing nutrients to the
Kinda like
mother to
Avatar.
the daughter, or the mother to the cousin, or whatever.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
What,
That's right.
Kinda
what
like
scene are you
Avatar.
talking about?
Oh, and they're all interconnected, but Avatar the movie, you know how they're all interconnected electronically. All the
He
trees
means
of the fucking
Avatar,
Pandora, of the
the
entire
one where
fucking
the
moon.
blue people.
Oh, okay.
The movie,
Yeah, okay.
the blue apes. Okay, like they have tails.
Okay.
That technically makes them.
Do they have
the blue
tails,
monkeys.
or is it just like long hair?
Yeah.
Really?
Wait, no, they have tails,
Okay,
bro.
okay.
Hashtag look it up.
Yeah, they have tails. Okay, so hashtag look it up. Anyway, the point is, the entire planet was interconnected electronically through the roots of every fucking the animals and their hair, their fucking the roots. But it was an electronic network. What you're saying is that the network here on Earth is fungi.
And when we're walking,
I believe
like I'm saying, like
underwater.
the mycophobia part where we don't understand the importance of how it's connected with our world. So like for every step a human takes on this earth, they are breaking wood underground, and when you're breaking that wood, you are bringing nutrition to the fungi, and that fungi is our ancestors in a way, and we actually have more in common with fungi than any other animal. And animals actually came from fungi, because me, you, and Tank, we're all fucking fungi bodies, and from a cellular lens, we exhale carbon dioxide, right, and we inhale oxygen.
Yeah.
But fungi does the same shit, but we digest internally with our stomach, but fungi digest externally. But so they exhale oxygen and inhale carbon dioxide. But yeah.
Check this out. You're right. There's fungi underwater. You see a starfish, you see a fucking one of those sea turtles. They have fungi on their shells. They spend most of their time underwater. Fungi could survive underwater, could survive in air, could survive under the ground, could survive on human bodies. People have fungi on their fucking feet. That's the type of fungus. Believe it or not, it's fungus, bro. At the end of the day, on your nails, they survive everywhere. You get a fucking a dish. What's it called? One of those dishes where you put like fucking experiments and shit.
I have no idea.
What's it called?
You lost me right there.
I forgot. It's like a glass dish. Okay, get a glass dish and blow on it, and then cover it up with plastic, and you'll see what starts growing out of your breath. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It becomes mold. Mold is fungi.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? So in a sense, so. Damn, you're right. Everything
Look
we
at
do,
think of it like when an animal dies, what happens
at the end of the
from
day?
there? Like fungi takes over, right? Like it takes over, and it rots.
Yeah.
So like these mushrooms, they are in a way like our elders, and they are considered ancient organisms. And when you look at the influence on psychedelics, right? I'm only just sharing the beginning to kind of lay the foundation before we get into it. But so the importance of psychedelics, the Greeks and when they used to drink a lot of wine, but there's also reports on Plato, which is one of the main thinkers who had a huge influence on Western society's thinking. He was fucking around with a potion, a psychedelic potion that they had him take. And he kind of reports his what kind of happened. But and then you have Moses and the burning bush, with the Moses tripping out on DMT or cannabis, and he came back. He got high
that
as
was
fuck,
fucking
and
cannabis.
wrote the
That
10
was fucking
Commandments.
cannabis. Motherfucker was tripping on.
You look at Star Wars and the influence
on
psychedelics. You look at the Avengers.
Star Wars, by the way, they have space runners, which means
Really?
Drug smugglers.
Interesting.
That's what they call it. Space runners. Hashtag look it up.
For Avengers too. They had a
That's what they
huge
call it.
influence on psychedelics. So these psychedelics, mind-altering substances, there's natural ones and there's synthetic ones like LSD or whatever. But they have a huge impact on our culture and society. And when you look at fertility cults back in the day, right? You see a bunch of naked people just dancing, and you could see images of naked people dancing around a mushroom. And when you eat that mushroom back in the day, you enter like a trance, and you get into that's sort of like how you kind of get into sex cults, because you do get horny sometimes when you consume these psychedelics. So that has a component too with the fertility cults and the fungal intelligence. You look at it in an esoteric way, that the mushrooms use us to manifest their reality, and that we're closer.
What they live in the real in their realm, basically. And when you take it, you're taking in the realm.
Mushrooms are closer to humans than they are to plants. They're not even considered plants. They're
There's separate subdivision. They break off.
Yeah.
They're in their own kingdom. Kind of like the octopus. The octopus is its own it's its own kingdom.
So that
spider also,
that sort of sets the foundation for the Santa shroom.
Bam.
So before we get into it, it's
okay. Before we even start,
Here we go.
Before we even start,
Merry fucking Christmas,
Santa
bitches.
shroom. Just thinking about it, it's triggering my mind.
I'm thinking about Super Mario. Super Mario. No. Check this out. This motherfucker went. No, check this out. Super Mario went from Donkey Kong fighting Donkey Kong to having mushrooms in his own fucking world. What do? You have to take a green mushroom to become bigger, and then if you want, you take a different mushroom to have a life. So each mushroom gives you a life. Technically, what you're saying is each mushroom it's its own realm. It's a different reality. Exactly, it's all hidden properly. So if you die, depending on how many mushrooms you have taken in, you could keep living. Maybe not in the same world, maybe not on the same level, but keep living.
There's a symbology in that for sure.
And that's the essential part. Ultimately, keep living. Oh, bam, dude! Super Mario Kart.
There's
my fucking mind.
People who's, like I said, I'm not an expert in this area. I'm just kind of sharing what the experts do, kind of say, and kind of share my own perspective on it. But there's people who study this for 15 to 20 years. One of the guys wrote a book called "The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross," right? And what happened is the Catholic Church bought out this book, and they got rid of it. They got rid of it, and they never published it. So the only way to kind of read the book was to kind of buy a used copy in a way, but recently, the past few years, it's been republished because someone got like the rights or something. But the oldest version of the Bible is called the Seven Deadly Sea Scrolls. Have you guys heard of that? So the seven Deadly Sea Scrolls is the oldest version of the Bible, and it was written on animal skin. So they had to bring kind of figure out, like, bring all the pieces together, say what animal does it come from, and then because it's written on animal skin. So the Seven Deadly Sea Scrolls was one of them was translated by the guy who wrote the one of the guys who wrote the Sacred Mushroom and the Cross. His name is Allegro, and the Seven Deadly Sea Scrolls is the oldest version of the Bible, and
the Bible at the end talks about a giant monster coming out.
Revelation?
No, a giant religious figure coming out of the 7 hills. Yeah, in one of the Revelations, and they mentioned that not 7 seas, but 7 hills, which kind of puts it on a pinnacle of the Vatican. Because
so
surrounded by 7 hills, and that's how a false prophet will arise from the 7 hills.
Allegro's theory on this mushroom was that Christianity was a huge misunderstanding, and it was really about the influence on mushrooms. Because think about it, it went from when you go from the 7 Deadly Sea Scrolls, the oldest version, right? Then you move to ancient Hebrew, right? Because a lot of the letters are numbers, right? It's complicated as fuck, and you move to Latin, then you have a Greek or whatever, and then you have English or whatever, and all those translations, a lot of shit gets lost in that translation.
I've said this 100 times before. The first 3 original languages the original Bible was written was Latin, Hebrew, and Greek, and all those words that they say, like Latin now. It's a lost language. You could speak Latin. I mean, you could read and you could fucking write Latin, but you can never speak it. Why? Because there's words that are going to be mispronounced or mistranslated. You know, and that's after King James came and they revamped the Bible and they reinvented the Bible. That's the Bible we read today, the King James version. Well, that's the only Bible that exists everywhere.
A lot of pastors, they like to read King James because it's more sophisticated and academic, but in terms of like the more easier one,
falsely translated in my words.
Yeah, But I like New International versions or something like that. King James is a little bit more. It kind of breaks it down a little bit too much, where it's like more academic.
Yeah, I get you. Okay, so back to the fucking Shrooms
yeah.
Samson.
So there's a lot of what happened is that a lot of that translation got lost in the Bible, and there's a mushroom called the Amanita muscaria, right? That's the one that we're all familiar with. It's the one that's red and has white dots on the top, right? Like Mario. And when you look at tracing the origin, Jesus, you trace the translation of Jesus. It was a Sumerian word that was translated into a mushroom that was covered in God's semen, and that when God came on earth, they looked at it as rain, and the rain came off on the ground, and they would take the mushrooms and trip their balls off. Like that's sort of how they saw it.
What the fuck? Shape-shifting, busting nuts, God damn it. Oh, damn, this is a new level of conspiracy theory. Oh no, this is a new.
Because back in the day, they have what's called shamans, right? And shamans back in the day meant someone who was a religious specialist who specialized in connecting to the higher power. And the shamans back in the day they used to wear like a red and white robe, way to represent that mushroom. And in the winter solstice, December 21st, the houses in Siberia, this is where most of it in the North Pole happened. Siberia, when the houses were buried in the snow, that's where the shamans would throw down the mushrooms down people's chimneys, and that's where the idea of presents coming down the chimney kind of comes from. And
it starts evolving.
We see these our presents are like red and white kind of packages, kind of when we think about it, and that is really the red and white mushroom. And then you look at Santa Claus, he's red and white, just like the Amanita muscaria mushroom, and that those mushrooms are common in Siberia, and that's sort of like the North Pole. And they're eaten by caribou, right? You could consider reindeer as caribou too. The caribou, however you say it. So the caribou are addicted to these mushrooms. Mm-hmm. So when they eat these mushrooms, they piss it out, and they drink a second flush through their own urine to trip the fuck out.
Get the fuck out of here, dude! Exactly. To trip out again.
Yeah.
Talk about no waste. Recycling this, dog. That is insane. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm just getting mind blown right here.
So if you really think about it, right? Like we had these mushrooms has been around for like millions of years, and when you look at it, there was a point where you came across a mushroom, you're like, what the fuck is, and you eat it, and then you trip out, and you feel like you're tripping out, and you're having a higher connection to God. So what happened was in the translations, they hid them from the Romans, or they hid the truth in stories or parables for people, and that the red and white, the green colors in Christmas, the red and white mushrooms, they symbolize the what's called the evergreen tree in back in the day when. The mushrooms were so poisonous and potent that the shamans would hang it on the evergreen tree so that the potency could kind of reduce, and that's where the ornaments on a Christmas tree kind of came from. It came from putting us ornaments on a Christmas tree came from the shamans who put the mushrooms on the pine tree so that they could reduce and dry out and reduce the potency for people.
This is fucking insane.
And when we're talking about caribou tripping the off on mushrooms, that the reindeers would eat mushrooms and they would feel like they're fucking flying, and that's where flying reindeers came from. It came from the reindeers got tripping out and
Wait, how did they document the way that the reindeers felt? Like, did they? Wow.
Because think about it, like Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, right? Rudolph it tried to eat a mushroom, and the symbology on the red nose, where that mushroom was still on Rudolph's nose when he was trying to eat that mushroom, and the symbology of a Christmas tree in our house basically is from the winter solstice when we bring in that tree. That represents that they use that tree to hang mushrooms inside their own house, and the packages underneath our tree, Christmas trees, are the Amanita muscaria mushrooms that are considered gifts to have a higher connection to God. And that was our way of giving gifts or giving mushrooms in Siberia. That's the way they showed their love for each other and to represent God in a way.
This does not only connect hallucinogen abuse or use, or recreational use. It connects astrology. It connects the connection with the stars, the winter, the summer solstice, all this shit connects culture, because this is culture. Believe it or not, that was their culture before they were fucking ravaged and pushed away by imperials and other dominant militant minded fucking forces. And on top of that, it also connects religion, because somehow, some way, that type of culture got evolved or misconstrued or bought off to become what Christmas is now, and what it represents now. This is insane. This is what Paranormal Radio Podcast is all about: connecting the fucking dots, connecting ancient human history with present status, connecting the fake and the false in one universe, and in the middle, hit like a middle ground, and a way you find a door to where other possibilities and other stories believe and other beliefs and other cultures exist, beyond what the government here tells you, beyond what Thanksgiving is about, beyond what Christmas is about, beyond what the Vatican wants you to think that Christmas is about, and et cetera, et cetera. There's other things in the world, you get me? So,
because you want to talk about hashtag look it up. Hey, go to Google and type in mushroom and halo, and that you're going to see that the bottom of the top of the mushroom, that's where it inspired the original halo for people. You know, when you see religious figures, you see a circle around it that represents the sun, and it represents, they believe in this theory or conspiracy. They believe that it came from a mushroom.
Bam, exactly. And the sun, exactly. And I'll be honest with you, without the sun, there wouldn't be light, there wouldn't be heat, there wouldn't be life. It takes, look, you could have an earth with air, you can have an earth with water, but if you don't have the sunlight, you don't have nothing growing, not even fungi. So I'll be honest with you now. Look, check this out. When they say you used to worship the sun, I think sun is the only real God that you need to worship. I'm not saying God is the sun or sun is God, but in a reality, like you just mentioned right now, those all depictions, the depictions of the saints, the depictions of all these like Mary and all these other freaking saints that, or not only saints, but entities that other religions also fucking worship. Even the Egyptians and other fucking ancient civilizations have this shit on their fucking walls and their hieroglyphs, where they have a giant fucking sun behind a giant sun behind the fucking their entity or their god. You know what I mean? And exactly what you're saying, that represents that they believe in that. I want to ask you that the sun. That entity, when you look at God,
the symbology of the sun on pictures of saints, it's that the sun, they worshipped it at some point in timeline where they believe that the sun was God's son that brought light to the world, right? And that you see the rays on Jesus Christ's what do you call it, the thing that he wears, the thorns, that's the thorns and the rays from the sun. And that the symbology of Christmas, right? December 21st to the 25th, or 22nd to the 25th. That's when the sun is at the lowest point in its life, not in life, but lowest point. So what happens is it moves down and it moves all the way up, and then it moves left to right, creating what's called a crux or crucifix. And that the crucifix, you break it down, it has 4 divisions, and that's the 4 different solstices or whatever.
I get you. I've gone through some studies about the cross and symbolism. I'm gonna make an episode about symbols. I'm really excited for that episode as well. I'm dropping hints right here because we have another amazing guest for that show. But I've noticed that, I'll be honest with you, I've done some research on symbols, and I'm not trying to challenge you here. I'm actually gonna add it as an emphasis. The cross in many cultures, it evolved kind of like the swastika. The swastika was evolved from Buddhist principles and other fucking religions. You get what I'm saying? In other cultures. And now the swastika, when you look at the swastika, you're like, oh shit, Nazis. It represents something negative. So, you know what I mean? Same with the cross. Yeah. So, like, what I've noticed is in my research is that the cross.
Whoa, wait, hold on. Say that one more time.
Dimensional cube, leading the cross, when you upside down or upwards, it folds into a 4-dimensional cube representing the dark cube of Saturn.
I heard that. I've heard
representing
of that.
Saturnalia.
As above, so below.
So what up is down and down is up.
Yeah, no, I've heard of that.
Exactly.
But it's just, I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
No,
It's a theory. But let's put it like this. Why is it Yeah, I know
Our
what I mean.
opinions
I
are
know
valid.
exactly. I mean, it's not valid because I can't prove it to be real right now. Exactly. But I mean, the theory is there. So what makes Christianity's cross
Mhm.
so strong as a theory? People believing in it, right? So if I had
Yeah.
Of
enough people
course.
believing in my theory, then it would be make it valid. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's not real. I'm not saying that Christ is not real. I'm saying that there's other perspective of it. Like
Mhm.
just like there's so many doctrines preaching different things about
Yeah.
Jesus in their own way. That's because they're fucking interpreting the
Yeah.
Bible in their own
There
way.
was a
I'm
war
interpreting the
going
cross in
on
my own
with
way, in my own
Christianity
symbology. So
and
that's all I'm saying.
the ancient world and pagans and everything. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
100-Year War.
All right. So
That's when the Templars were
yeah,
created.
so
So I
back
know all of
tying
that
back
shit,
to
dog.
the
I know all of
halos,
that shit. I know for a fact.
mushroom and the halo
Good
and
shit.
halo using that where it kind of came from the inspiration of the symbology of like saints, kind of having that circle behind their head in images and artwork. That the halo represented that the people who had the halos on their head represented people who consumed the mushroom and who had ancient wisdom, who were connected to God in a way. So that's how like kind of how it kind of ties into it.
That's
Not that
amazing.
I
Did
know
they
of, no.
ever practice with frequencies? Harmonic.
I'm not sure. I
Singing
never looked
to
into
reach
that.
higher
I'm gonna have
levels
to
of
look into
consciousness
it.
while they were tripping out. Because I've noticed also that in temples, and I'm not trying to bash on Catholics, but even Catholicisms, Muslims, the Mormons, they have giant temples, and when they come in, you see their sermons
Yeah.
when they sing, they're like,
Yeah.
the Italian fucking language on this fucking. They're all hormonal. They're all hormonal, but if, not hormonal, harmonal. And like you come in and you walk into these giant, amazing fucking buildings, these temples, these fucking churches, and you walk in there, the organ and their voices amplifies by the walls. That means that the structure, the architecture way that it's set up, it's
Frequency.
made to echo
Yeah.
the harmonic sounds of their voices. So they have acoustic properties. Exactly. They hit higher levels of frequency
Yeah.
to hit higher levels of consciousness or enlightenment. You get what I'm saying? And coincidentally, they're all male monks or they're all male priests, for example. You get what I'm saying? So I think a lot of not only hallucinogens, but aside or in addition to using hallucinogens, they probably practice a lot with like harmonic and acoustic fucking properties or ways or cultures to fucking enlighten themselves up. Because I also believe that everything
because
is frequency, dog. You could break
reality
things
in a
down
way is
with a certain
that frequency,
sound
and
frequency.
that you have
to the core.
a spiritual intuition antenna, and you get to tap into and tune yourself into certain frequencies. And there's a whole big conspiracy going on with December 21st, right? It's a big event, the Grand Awakening. It's going to be aliens, like invasions and all kinds of shit. But I think the only people that are going to be affected by it are the people who are in tune with higher levels of frequency. I think that people who have a lower levels of consciousness, they're not going to be affected by it because that's the norm for them. So if you can imagine like people eating like junk food, like Coca-Colas every 2 hours, right? To them, that shitty feeling of eating junk food is normal. But if you have a healthy person and you give them a Coca-Cola and they drink it and they have this crazy reaction to it, it's because that their body is in a higher frequency, so that they're more sensitive to lower energies or lower frequencies. So I think that, I don't know if it's the end of the world or like the invasion, like everyone says, with the conspiracy with the Grand Awakening on the symbology of December 21st next week. I think it's more in terms of people who have those high levels of frequencies, who are going to be the ones who are going to be seeing the difference most.
I agree. And I also think that the government and religions have all collaborated to keep us working at a low frequency, keep us in fear, so that they could keep feeding off the low frequency and keep us hidden from the great awakening moment. Because if they keep us at a low frequency with fear, with COVID-19, with vaccines, with tragedies, with pandemics, plandemics, with Kill Bates. I call him Kill Bates because he kills people instead of fucking opening up. So like all this shit, like I honestly think that they're keeping us at a low frequency on purpose, so that by the time the 21st comes in and the Great Awakening, we transcend into that position. Not all of us are woke. And the ones that are woke are not.
That's a good point, because the fear is the real pandemic. Like when Yeah, fear is the real pandemic. When you have someone in fear, you control them.
That's a real
And
pandemic.
the guy, his name was Niccoli Machiavelli. He's the one who wrote the book called The
Exactly.
Prince. He kind of breaks down where to control people, you want to keep them in fear, because fear you
Nikolai
can control.
Machiavelli.
Love, never. Like, he kind of looked at it like you can't control people when it comes to really.
Tupac mentions that shit after he came out of jail. He created a
Yeah,
Illuminati, and he created Illuminati. What that's an
Yeah, you
album,
know, when you mix the
because he
scrambled the
made
letters, it's
Illuminati,
I'm still
and
alive.
then he
Okay,
called
like
himself
when you mix the
Machiavelli.
letters together, that's what it says. The word Niccoli Machiavelli, he faked his death because of his opponent. So Tupac took that same philosophy where he wanted to fake his death, and yeah,
Bam, exactly. Bam, the recreation, dog. The recreation, homie. That's what it all is, dude. This has been an amazing fucking
I'm
episode.
fucking
Big
mind
Tag.
blown.
What are your
mean,
final thoughts,
I
dog?
don't know what to believe, what not to believe. This has literally just twisted my mind inside and out, spat it out, ate it up. I mean, it's just a lot. It's a lot to process.
yeah,
And I know for a fact that not everybody's going to be into this, but it's something that has to be out there and said. And just public opinion, whatever you guys think, you guys think. If you guys like it, you guys like it. If you guys don't. But this is why we're here. We're just expressing our free minds, our own free will. And whether you like it or not my problem.
For real, honestly, it's like this was said, man. Well, like I said before, I mean, Paranoid Radio, it's a conspiracy podcast, and we like to have light topics, and we like to have heavy topics. We like to have criminal topics and ghost topics to ease up the mind on conspiracies. But sometimes we have to come back to these heavy, deep end talks about spirituality, about government manipulation.
Yeah, because I want to know why
and
the Catholic Church bought out this book, Seven.
To be honest,
the Mushroom and the Sacred Cross. Exactly. Yeah.
To hide wisdom, to hide the wisdom, to be able to control the masses in their own plan.
Yeah,
and I'm not just saying. We always come back to the Catholic Church because they're the most influential. We could say Muslims. We could say the Muslims. We could say the Jews, which is the three biggest fucking religions on earth. We could say any other religion. We're just bringing them in right now because I honestly think that we live still in a Roman type of mentality.
It's our most relevant.
Yeah,
it's more it's most relevant.
The most relevant fucking religion out there. And
if we were to go to an Islamic area,
that too.
We were grown up in Islamic religion. We'd be charging them. Yes, that's all it is. It's no hate, no love. It's just our own opinion, whether you like it or not. Cool.
Yeah. Quite honestly, look, if you're happy with what you're practicing, the occult or the religion you're in, as long as you're not raping kids or hurting other people, you're on my book of grace. Practice what you want. Live a fucking happy life. Have an amazing fucking holiday with your family. Take care of them. Take care of yourselves, and make yourself happy. Because in reality, what life is about not finding yourself, but creating yourself. So create yourself in a world where you are happy, because that's what really matters. Your happiness and your peace, your inner peace, and your health with other people. So if you're Catholic, I'm sorry, I don't want to bash on you. And we're not saying Catholics are fake. We're just saying there's other theories out there about different portions of not only the Bible, but the existence of Christmas. And this is a Christmas special, so we had to talk about it. LeeRoy, go ahead and leave off your
my last thought. Like I said, I wasn't on here to bash anyone's beliefs. Because it's just a conspiracy, like when I learned about it, like I don't look at Christmas the same anymore, because I know that there is a deeper meaning behind it than just presents, and it kind of I don't know, it blew my mind just learning about it or researching about it.
Yo. Go ahead and plug everybody else. Let where they could find your product, where they can find your podcast.
Since we're doing this, I'll make a. I just thought of it just now. For anyone who is interested in microdosing psilocybin, hit me up. My Instagram is brutal_compassion, and I'll send you a little Christmas gift. You know what I mean? And my plug is that I host a podcast called Enlighten Me Radio, and in this podcast, I'm attempting to spread some healing and spirituality to the collective and to society. And the episode is called Enlighten Me Radio, where you can find it.
For sure. Enlighten Me Radio with LeeRoy Jenkins and Diana Didenko.
She has a good
Nichols is host.
commercial
We've had
voice,
her
too.
here before. She's an amazing speaker. She's a great personality. Her character is amazing also. And her voice is very, it's very smooth and very tension breaking vibes. So I really love her presence. Also, make sure massive shout outs to Didenko out there and to Enlighten Me Radio podcast. Again, Enlighten Me Radio podcast. Hit them up, listen to them on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on Anchor, on any other platform that where you fucking stream your fucking what's it called, your podcast. Make sure you hit them up, listen to them, leave them a 5-star review or fucking a thumbs up. Give them a good little tip, and not money wise, but check them out also on enlightenmeradio.com. If you don't want to listen to them on any of these fucking mainstream platforms, you could also reach them at enlightenmeradio.com, and you'll find a lot of other products and what's it called now, shirts and hats, and I don't know what else this guy. I think he sells thongs and shit, all that good shit.
Condoms and stuff. That's coming because anyway, they're getting close to making it decriminalized in a lot of states. So it is a psychedelic renaissance that we're going through, and it is just a matter of time. The same
Oregon,
shit
right?
that went through with cannabis is the same shit that's happening with mushrooms. And there was a reason why they hit these mushrooms or try to make it illegal for so long, and that's what trips me out sometimes.
Good shit. Now, before we end this fucking conversation, we're gonna jump into a little fuck you, Tony. Fuck you, Ezekiel. Now, Big Tank and LeeRoy Jenkins, this is going to be a question that's very delicate, and I'm going to bring this up to you guys because I know you guys are very opinionated. But first, I want to get Tank's word because I really want to hear his smooth little jazzy voice. Tank, pro-vaccine or anti-vaccine? Are you pro-vaccine all day? Give me your views. Why?
Family-related wise, above it all. I'm just seeing the greater more than the bad it could do. Put it this way, nothing has ever been accomplished without risk. That's where I'm gonna leave that at.
Exactly. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Also, you have a family to feed, and when it comes down to a point where you're gonna need to be vaccinated to attend to work, then you're gonna have to put it on because that's what they ultimately want.
Is that going to be legal to make it mandatory for people to work to get vaccines, or are you what do you call it? You have every right to deny that or to refuse taking a vaccine to go to work.
Well,
it's going to get to a point where you're going to be able to have a business. You're not going to be able to attend concerts. Fucking Ticketmaster's already doing it. You need to be vaccinated to attend a concert. And how many people don't sell their tickets to Ticketmaster? That's what they're called, Ticketmaster. They're the masters of the tickets. So anyway, the point is you're going to be vaccinated to attend public gatherings.
It's going to be like everything. It's like when you go to school, most people can't attend public school without your immunization record being up to date.
Exactly.
I think it's just going to be moving towards that.
If you're not vaccinated. Exactly. To get education, you need to be vaccinated, and to make money, you got to be vaccinated. It's going to be the cycle of life, bro. LeeRoy, what do you think?
I don't know. I don't think I want to wait a little bit longer. Okay, and why? I think that Kill Gates, when he kind of he's like, why would you influence society to take vaccines that you're not willing to have your kids on, your personal kids take it? So to me, that says something about the leader kind of trying to push forward that thing. And I don't think that if they make it required, like you have to take it, then it looks like I'm going to be losing my job because I kind of stand strong in my rights to not to accept it at face value, or you're not going to make me do something that I don't want to do. Anyway.
I'm on the same fucking boat. I think I'm gonna fight until my last breath to go against it because I'm not in for it. I've had COVID and I know that I don't need the vaccine.
You need a good immune system. That's what the real shit is like.
So
they talk about all the fear on the shit, but they don't talk about like the vitamin D, the vitamin C, the zinc, the magnesium.
Exactly. I've mentioned this shit a couple times on the episodes before, that when I had COVID-19 at this time of day, like around fucking 7 to 9 a.m. in the morning, I would take off my shirt and I would sit in my front yard, and I would let the sun rays hit my back, naked back, because that's the biggest receptor of your body, and I would take in the rays of sun. Dude, I did that shit for a week and I felt like a fucking king. After I had maybe like a little fever for 2-3 days and a little light cough and phlegm, like a regular day of fucking with the flu. And after that, it all went away. And I drank a lot of vitamin C as well. I took care of my body, and I ate burgers, I ate hot dogs, I drank a beer, dude. I lived
and
my life like
on top of that,
I didn't
it's
let
more of a
fear
natural
affect
way
the
versus
rest of
like
my
a
organs.
synthetic.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't know what the fuck exactly is in this vaccine, but you're gonna take it. Kind of thing. Like, I don't know. It could be a risk too. Like Tank was saying, it could be a big one, or it could be a huge mistake too at the same time. Yeah.
I want to lean with Tank because I also have a family to tend for. I honestly do. But sometimes it's fighting against my morals, against my values, my own personal peace. So when it goes against my own personal peace, at this point, I'm not being greedy, or I don't want to sound like a narcissist. But if it's fucking up with my inner peace,
that's just knowing your rights as a sovereign
family without getting
individual.
vaccinated, I'm gonna fucking go that route. You get me?
I have a question. All right, and this is like towards both of you, because
Exactly.
I'm opinionated. We're all opinionated individuals. Why do you think they try to control the masses? And before you answer that, for the same example reason that we're talking about, fear, chaos spreading, and everything, a lot of people fear the unknown, right? And we say that we explain ourselves so we don't live above the fear. The way I hear it is, right now, you guys are afraid of the vaccine for the simple reason is that it's something new. Okay? If this was 20, 30 years from now, when, let's say, let's say it's proven to be a fact that the vaccine, nothing happened, but it's just our own superstitions. Why do you think the government tries to control the government society from imploding on itself?
Okay. Okay, check this out. First question was, why do they want to control the masses? Second question was, you stated that we're afraid of the vaccine because it's something new. Now, I'm gonna address the first part. I think that the government and the governments and the religions are hiding wisdom from us okay, this is why. I do not think we're going to survive. I think what the governments already know and what the religions already know is that Earth is going to implode, and that we don't need to survive on Earth. We need to survive as a human race outside of the planet. And the only way to do that is by controlling us and keep working towards that goal. Because if there is anarchy,
and here's my counter to that.
There's not gonna be no more human race in the future. That's how I see it. If you wanna see it, if you wanna see it in a religious form, then it's good versus evil. God is gonna come pick up his church, and Satan is gonna stay on Earth reigning hell. If you want to see it in a religious type of sense, that's my answer to the question of why do I think they want to control us. Now let me address your statement about being afraid of something new.
No.
I'm gonna tell you why. Vaccine is not something new. Vaccination has been around for ages. I'm not afraid of the vaccination. I'm afraid of the consequence after we're all vaccinated. That's what I'm afraid of, because if we're all in the same boat, we're all gonna sink. This boat is sinking. That's how I see it. I'm not afraid of getting shots. I'll be honest with you. Remember, I told you I was adopted, and my parents never gave me a shot in life. The only shot I've ever taken in my life was hepatitis B to go to high school, and that was when I was already adopted. I don't know if you remember, Big Tank. So that was the only shot in my life. I never had a flu shot in my life. Never in my life had any other fucking vaccinations. That was because I was in the system. And the only reason I got the hepatitis B was because I needed to go into high school. And I was already almost a fucking sophomore in high school when I got that vaccine. And I was adopted. I never had a vaccination in my life. My parents never took me. They never cared for me. That's a real fact. But, like, I'm not afraid of getting vaccinated. I'm afraid of what might happen if we get vaccinated and what's going to come after. You know what I mean? There's people saying, dude, the fucking doctors are saying the vaccines don't work unless we're all vaccinated. Okay, answer me that, Big Tank.
Same thing.
How does that work?
Bubonic plague. The bubonic plague is still alive. No, that's not true. Why do you think?
You're vaccinated, it shouldn't affect you.
every 3 to 5 years because the potency
If
runs
you're
out.
vaccinated,
Why do you
you
think?
have the immune
Why do you
system.
think engine oil in your motor? You have to change it every certain while.
Ex-
Why?
okay,
'Cause it runs out.
okay.
It's a life. It's a life expectancy.
Yeah, because it
Okay.
exactly. I know. But if you it's two of us. It's you and I, and we both together walk into the clinic.
Nobody's
You
saying
get
that
the
they're
shot,
you know
and
what?
I
sick
don't.
right away.
How the fuck are
Let
you
me,
gonna get
let
sick
me share
again? And you just got the shot.
one of my
Only
point,
I
and we
will
can kind
get
of add
sick.
to it and how everything kind of ties together. So the way that I see it is that I like what you're saying, where they're kind of hiding the ancient wisdom that's kind of embedded. But I think that control in a way is necessary because it creates order and structure within the chaos. Like if you have too much chaos, no structure. If you have too much structure, that's where the chaos kind of comes out of. And that's sort of like how I see it when the government's trying to control it. They're just trying to keep, because imagine the government said they have evidence to show like UFOs are legit. They actually have. So if they show that to the public will freak
Hashtag
out.
look it up. They
And
do exist.
some people are
Hashtag
not
look it
really ready for those things. Kind of thing. So
Exactly
that's
my
sort
point.
of why
Exactly.
they need to have a certain maintain control, so that way
Humanity's
everyone kind
ready.
of has a certain level of composure. Now, in terms of fear of unknown, I'm not afraid of the unknown aspect. It's more of I should have the ability to choose what I want, and part of that is like freedom. And to me, what's more important is exercising my rights as an individual more than if I should take it or not. If I just take it without questioning it, to me, that's living like a sheep in the society where you're just doing everything that they tell you up top without questioning it.
That's like when they come and tell you in California you cannot collect rainwater. It's illegal to do it. Hashtag look it up. Why? Why is it illegal to collect rainwater? It comes from the sky. It's free, fool. Why can I collect rainwater and then
You don't have to go
filter
buy
it and then
bottled
drink
water.
it
You
later
can-
with
you
my
can buy
family?
a
Why?
nice
Why do I
filter,
have to go
connect it to
buy
your thing
bottled
and take
water?
that tap
Why?
It's really it's illegal to collect rainwater. What?
No.
Really?
It's,
Okay.
okay. It's not illegal.
It's
What it
illegal to
is
collect rainwater in
that
California.
in massive quantities, it's really unstable.
Like a commercial operation or something.
Yes, exactly.
They want to say because of the fucking mosquitoes and all the larvae and shit and all that bullshit. But dog, come on. Dog. Come on. Fucking boo-boo.
Yeah.
Yo, this has been an amazing fucking show. We could go on for hours. LeeRoy Jenkins, hit him up at brutal_compassion and Enlighten Me Radio podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and all the other fucking realms and all the other fucking platforms. Hit him up. EnlightenMeRadioPodcast.com as well. He has a live blog and he has fucking the streaming services all hit up, and he has fucking merchandise. Hit him up if you want to
Yes, without
catch a little of those
doubt, it was a
microdosing
pleasure.
Santa mushrooms. Hit him up.
This is honestly something for
Brutal_compassion.
the ages.
Big
And
tank.
stay tuned.
Yeah, no, I
Stay
really
fucking tuned.
I appreciate you guys having me on here. Yeah, I look forward to going on again.
For real, big time. Where can I find you?
Without a doubt.
It's for sure, bro. For sure. Yeah, we're looking forward to bring you back, and hopefully next time you could bring the Denko, and then she could bring in some more.
Catch me at
more bombs, more bomb shells into this
EKNAT.IVIX.
shit.
Once again, EKNAT.
Big time. Where can I find you, my boy?
On your social media platforms. And don't forget to reach out to us at paranoidradio.com. That is our new website. Highly anticipated, but we got it working. It's 100% there. You guys want to catch us right there. You guys want to catch us on any platform, it's right there.
MySpace.
All of our social medias are right there.
Sure.
Everything.
For real. You could hit me up at Trebles Garcia, TREBLES Garcia on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and Facebook. Please hit us up on Instagram, Paranoid Radio Podcast on Instagram, and also on Facebook page. We have a Facebook page, Paranoid Radio Podcast. It's called Paranoid Radio Podcast on Facebook. Do not forget. And on Apple Podcasts, please make sure to leave a 5-star and a fucking comment and a review. We fucking cherish it. That helps us blow up, and it also helps other people like you find the podcast quicker, faster, and more efficient. Thank you so much for the fucking time. Thank you for tuning back in. Massive shout outs to all our listeners around the fucking world. Germany, Philippines, Netherlands, UK, Ireland, Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador,
US.
Puerto Rico, US. And if I'm missing any other country, France. If I'm missing any other country, please forgive us. You know, I already said US. Alaska. Oh, wait, that's US. For and the US there. I said US 3 times. Us. Anyway, guys, please keep tuning in. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much, LeeRoy, for being here.
time.
Big Tank, you did an amazing fucking job being my co-host as always. Catch you guys next time. Boom. Blow your fucking mind.